Hi designers, today I'm going to talk about 3 cautions about online advice. I think this is going to help some of you because there is a lot of advice out there and all of it is subjective, including mine, okay? So I think that if you're out there listening to online advice, especially about being creative, being an artist, making money, that you just need to do some critical thinking about what you're trying to do. One of the things that we try to do in our program is I just did a Thursday training about this. Like the critical thinking piece, you guys, is huge because if I tell you to do X, Y, and Z, and then you walk out of my program and that's all you know how to do, instead of being like, why does this not work? What are the questions I need to ask myself to see why it doesn't work? Then I haven't taught you anything, okay? So that's why I want you to, even here on the podcast or on YouTube, you're paying attention to critical thinking so that you can be a smart design business owner, okay? Or art business owner, okay? Whatever it is that you're trying to do as a creative. So we're gonna talk about 3 things here. And the very first one that makes me the craziest, so that's why we're gonna talk about first, absolutes. Now, what do I mean about absolutes? I was in a mastermind program, and the particular person who was in charge of it kind of very often gave what I would consider an absolute. If you're not doing this, you won't be able to do this, okay? One of the ones that I hear all the time, I actually just heard someone who's very popular on the internet and Instagram say that I thought was interesting because I know it's not true is, and it was more of advice. Okay. So it wasn't an absolute, but basically she said like, you have to make your bed in the morning. Now, am I against making your bed in the morning? No, like making your bed in the morning shows a lot about your character, who you are, what you like to do, trying to clean up and all of that. I'm going to tell you guys something. I don't make my bed in the morning. I don't. I hop out of my bed ready to start my day. I don't care about making my bed. Making my bed, I don't go back up to my bedroom until nighttime when it's time for me to go to sleep. I'm in the rest of my house, living my life. I'm in my office teaching you guys. So I don't make my bed in the morning. Instead, I have like this crazy 15-minute routine to get ready in the morning so I can just come down and start my creative work, start my business work, get excited to meet my team, go into meetings for the day, come and teach my design suite members. Like that's the way I want to live my life. I do not measure my life by whether I made my bed. Okay. Now, this I think happens though for other things, and this is why I always get concerned even about having a YouTube channel and a podcast channel, because someone somewhere went and started at 0. You know, I have, I don't know what, 350 episodes at this. I don't even know how many episodes I have at this point, but go back and listen to me at episode number 1 or episode number 20 or episode even 100. And the thing is, some of them might take them as absolutes. I don't want you to take anything I say as an absolute. I have steps, I have methodology, I have things that have proven to be true, but you also have to figure out how it will work for you. Everyone should be taking anything that you get, any kind of advice you get, and kind of tweaking it, okay? All right. So absolutes always concern me because we live in a changing and dynamic world. Okay, we just do. The shops we used to send designers to a year and a half ago, totally different than the shops we send them to now. We had some that were kind of higher on the list, and those have shifted as we kind of see how much money designers are making. We kind of were able to shift to the ones that we knew were going to bring in more income, and also just because we could see like if you didn't have one shop, you couldn't get into this shop over here. So we had to change things around to make it work, to kind of figure out what was going to work. That's the way the world is, you guys. It should be a pivoting world where you're spending your time analyzing what's working now and making those adjustments in the future. All right. Okay, let's talk about the second one. This one I have a big issue with. I think some of the people I see doing this are going to say, but I do this, but they kind of don't. Okay. You guys don't want to get me on the soapbox here. Learn from the doers, not the teachers. Yeah, this is a hard one for me to talk about a little bit because I am a teacher, okay? So I get it. I have a doctorate. I taught at the University of Minnesota. I'm a teacher, okay? But the reason I'm able to teach my program isn't because I'm a teacher. It's because I own a design business. And it's so funny because actually yesterday, Crystal, who's my executive assistant, she's amazing. She's in the Philippines. Seriously, she is like my right hand man. She's amazing. The two of us sat down and we're working through all of our design shops because that's the main thing she works on with me. She helps with every other aspect of the business as well, like with Design Suite. But like our goal is to get her out of everything in Design Suite because her main focus has been in the past and continues to be in the future. How do we build and continue my design businesses? Which means I have to still design every week. I'm still doing the things that I teach my designers to do. I think very often what we'll see is people who teach and they've done a little bit of what they've done, or maybe they've done a lot in the past, but they don't actually do the things now that make them continue to be relevant. This is actually a problem I feel like with the university system. I taught at a university. You guys maybe have seen it on my YouTube channel. And actually one of the professors there like literally is doing the things that I've been talking about. He like literally was like, I'm going to get a platform. I'm going to start making money. I'm going to start showing my students how to do it. And I was just like, yes, that's what professors should be doing, but they don't. Very often they just teach. Okay. So what I want for you is if you're getting advice from people who maybe do very little of the thing they teach, okay, very little. And you guys, I hate to say it, but fabric design is one of them, okay? Like if you do very little fabric design, because everybody does very little fabric design, because it only takes up like a week or two of your entire year to create a fabric line, okay? And you spend most of your time teaching, just be careful. Be careful, because it is concerning to me that whatever you're paying for that coursework, that you think that you're going to make that back. Okay. It feels like way less of an expense. Those that are like, there's like courses out there that are $700 that you can take and go do something like that. And you're not going to get your money back. Okay. So, just because it's low price doesn't mean it's good quality or good value. In fact, it's usually the opposite, okay? Which really brings me to my third thing, which I'm going to look at my notes to make sure I say this correctly. I think this is a big deal, you guys. I want you to learn from someone who actually believes you can do what they do. Whoa, this is longer than I thought to write it out. So much longer. Okay. Learn from someone who actually believes you can do what they do. I think this is a big deal. I think there are a lot of people out there teaching stuff and they know for a fact you will never make it. Let me give you an example. In the quilting and the fabric industry, less than 1% ever get a fabric manufacturing contract. Okay. But I have heard the number, I hate this number, 24,000 people taking and learning fabric design when very few people get that contract. Do you really believe that someone who's teaching this is actually believing you're going to get that contract? I think that is a bad way to do business. I think it's a bad person to get advice from. Okay. I started my program and I basically said, if only one person signs up and that one person becomes a designer who after the course of 3 years, because guess what? Owning a design business takes that long, you guys. After the course of 3 years, they were making a substantial amount of money, then I've won. We've seen this happen over and over and over again. So we know that designers in our program can make money. I should give you guys stats. I will do an episode on stats because I just got stats from Crystal and I haven't even looked at them yet on how many of our designers actually open shops, actually get their first sale. Okay. And we're still working on finding out, follow through, how much people are making, but we know people are making money. That's the difference. And so if you are learning from someone who really doesn't believe that you're going to win in this industry, you might feel like you're the 1%. Maybe you are. But I would rather hedge my bets, and this is the way I feel about this because I've joined a lot of masterminds and courses, like tons, you guys, lots, where the person on the other end feels like anybody can do the thing I'm teaching to do. Anybody can get the contract. Anybody can make the money. Anybody, if you follow my steps, anybody can get there. I don't love the feeling of like, if I do this, maybe if I'm lucky, the 1%. That doesn't feel good. Just these are cautionary tales as you guys are moving forward in this world, because I would just be careful about the types of advice you get on the internet. I think you can make money a lot of different ways. In fact, that is why I love our program, because it's really about critical thinking and trying to figure out what's going to work for you. There are lots of programs like mine out there where the leaders and the CEOs and the teachers in them believe that you can do it, okay? It's just a matter of finding them, finding your who that will get you to the next level. And I know we have people on here that listen because they're creatives, they're not designers, they're songwriters, they're writers. That's okay. Like, I'm gonna tell you right now, I'm not your girl. We have business owners come to me all the time and ask if I will business coach them. No, I will not. I only work with designers, okay? So what you need to find is the person in your industry, whatever it is, creative writing, animation, art, like a particular art style you're looking for, right? And find those people to teach you and mentor you. Pay attention for these cautionary things that you're looking for. See if there's someone who speaks in absolutes. Okay, because I would be careful. There are some things like, for example, I talk about using Adobe products, okay? I might change my tune in 2 years. If something else comes up and is better than Adobe products, 100% I'm gonna push my designers to use it, okay? I'm always gonna choose whatever's the best thing right now. Someone just asked me about Affinity and whether that's good to use. It's just not there yet, you guys. Everyone's like, well, I just wanna use this because it's cheaper. Cheaper usually does not mean better, you guys. It's almost the opposite, always. And this whole idea, like, I need to do this cheap, like, not better, you guys. And you go from learning Affinity to having to go into better software that's going to be more powerful, and you're going to have to spend all of your time relearning that software because you spent all your time in Affinity. I'm not saying that in 2 years Affinity couldn't catch up or maybe even be better. It might be there. It's just not there right now. So I'm not going to have any of my designers do it, okay? Guys, this has been real talk today. Real talk. But it's because I'm so passionate about you guys doing the right things, getting the right advice. And so often it's easy to be led astray right now because there's so many words out there. People that are going to tell you that this is just all fun, it's all easy, it's all creative. Instead of teaching you to be a critical thinker, thinking about your overall career and your overall life, like what do you want to do with your overall life? This is something I've been personally thinking about really, just really in depth the last, I would say, week. I've been writing down my goals, not for just my life, but for my team's life and for my designer's life. And I was just like, what do we really want to accomplish here? You start getting a big picture of what's really available to you and how you can change people's lives. And so I think I'm super passionate about this because, I don't think everybody has your best intention at heart. I think the people in your family do. I think you do for yourself more than anyone, and you've got to go with your gut on those things. So if you hear a piece of advice and you're just not sure about it, you got to reason it out in your head. Use some critical thinking and think, what, why are they saying that right now? Why is Carina telling me Illustrator, not Affinity? It's not because I don't love Affinity. It's because Carina has been using Illustrator for all these years, and she's watching and seeing how the iPad has totally changed everything, how the programs themselves, especially while they infuse generative AI into the programs, are making it better, and Affinity just simply isn't cutting it. I'm not able to do the same things there, okay? That's the only reason. But if I come on here in 2 years and I tell you guys something different, it's not because I'm a flip-flopper. It's because I'm going to choose whatever is the best for my people, for my team, for the people who are working for me and for myself, always. That's the way we should go into design. That's the way we should go into our creative lives. That's the way we should be doing our art. We're choosing and making smart decisions, not from the past, but from the future. What's going to fill our future and what's going to serve us right now. All right, guys, hope these cautionary tales helped you. I know that not everybody is going to like my words. You know, I know that sometimes people are upset or maybe even offended by me telling you, hey, you really ought to learn from someone who actually does what they say they do year round, not just people who teach, right? Like, that's not very popular, especially amongst teachers, okay? Hey, you should be learning from someone who actually believes that you can win at that thing. Like you individually, not that one person somewhere in the midst of all their students might win, but like you as an individual should win at this. That you have the capacity to learn, that you have the ability to follow step-by-step instructions, that you have the thoughts and the critical thinking to pivot. You have the ability to win at this, okay? And I really believe you do, okay? All right, guys, everybody have an amazing day. I believe this is coming out. It's coming out the same day as the summit. We have a summit going on, the Design Suite, Design Summit, just the Design Summit. We've invited Design Suite members, but if you've not, I don't know if we've closed. I'm assuming we've closed free tickets for this at this point. If for some reason you completely missed it, we will have a VIP option still available online, so you can come and see what we've done in this previous summit and you can purchase it. We would love for you to get that if you would like. And then you can watch these 15 amazing presenters tell you really about what's going on in their design businesses, show you amazing things going on in the software. It's going to be really good. All right, everybody have an amazing day. I'll see you later.
Hey, did you know that you can visit me at makeanddesign.com to learn more about this podcast and join my VIP group for weekly freebies? I can't wait to see you there.